Ferrari is a team that keeps getting faster in all the wrong places. They were so quick it only took them 4 years to mentally destroy Sebastian Vettel, then just 3 years to ruin Fernando Alonso, another 3 to ruin Felipe Massa, just 2 short years to stress out Carlos and fire him, a single season to give Charles Leclerc PTSD, and now just 2 races to traumatize Lewis Hamilton. Ferrari is so talented, they made Lewis's already receding hairline recede even more. His barber is gonna be cutting nothing but thoughts and prayers. And this all has to do with aura farming. Aura farming is the act of trying to look cool or badass to build aura moments. It's done a lot of times in F1, Max Verstappen pitting on the second to last lap in Austria 2023 to get an extra point, Kimi Raikkonen not swerving. These are unintentional aura farms that work. But there's also a lot of times where it goes wrong.
Yeah!
Aston Martin hyping themselves up in 2024 only to kiss barriers. The McLaren-Honda partnership in 2015 just to be slower than watching paint dry. Sergio Perez saying he can beat Verstappen in 2023 only to be beat by Red Bull instead. And finally, Ferrari posting the hardest Lewis Hamilton photos only to get crushed in just 2 races. Now, I don't usually speak about Lewis too often. If you say one wrong thing about him, Team LH would maul you alive, so you're better off running. Usually they would say things like, actually he has 106 wins, not 105. Respect the name. Jeez. When's the last time you took a shower? But essentially, in Lewis's first 2 races for Ferrari, he went through hell immediately. That included getting out-qualified by Williams, engineers so slow, it makes you think Ferrari are hiring the disabled, then eventually getting a sprint win, only to be crucified in the race. Also, funny detail in China, Lewis said the car was perfect in the sprint, only for Ferrari to change the setup and make it worse.
From the sprint race, we made these changes and the car was terrible after that.
As I've said, the Ferrari experience is just we are so back, it's so over on repeat. And this is just the crust of the pizza. It is well known that Ferrari drivers have to go through the 5 stages of grief in order to fully convert into the team. It's like a cult initiation ritual. This is their version of baptism. For example, Charles Leclerc, 2019, denial.
I am stupid.
2020, anger. 2021, bargaining.
Fuck, I'm so disappointed.
2022, depression. And 23, acceptance.
I don't think anymore now. I stopped thinking a long time ago.
Now this transformation happened throughout 5 painful years. But for Lewis, he experienced all 5 stages of Ferrari grief in half a season. Let me break it down for you. Stage 1, denial. In Miami, Ferrari finished behind Williams. Charles was dead inside, but Lewis was hyped. I mean, look at that smile. This poor, untraumatized man refusing to believe P8 is disappointing and that he was driving a car that looked like an eraser. I mean, just look at Charles. There is no light in those eyes. That shiny thing you see there, that was done by the makeup team. Then stage 2, anger. A month later, Lewis finished P6 in Spain after he got overtaken by Hülkenberg in a jelly bean, and he was not having it.
What do you take from this triple header as a whole? How much have you learned about the car?
Honestly, if I was in a Ferrari, I'd be pissed too if a pickle overtook me. Stage 3, bargaining. As soon as race 10, Lewis was just happy with anything above P10.
I'm really grateful, so I'll definitely take it.
Stage 4, depression. I don't even have to say much, just watch this.
It's incredibly painful. It's turning out to be a pretty bad weekend so far. I don't know.
And now stage 5, acceptance. In Hungary, Lewis qualified 13th, but he was battling Max Verstappen for P11 and P12, while his teammate was 4th. And just like that, the Ferrari initiation was complete.
I'm just useless.
So say again?
I'm just useless.
So that is it, obviously.
It clearly is.
What?
Just drove terribly.
Yup, this team actually managed to get a 7-time world champion to call himself useless. It's official, Scuderia Ferrari screws over 40-year-olds harder than insurance companies. But now let me put on my detective glasses and find who's responsible for Lewis's mental breakdowns. And one name that kept popping up was Ricardo Adami, a man amongst the most incompetent race engineers in Formula 1. And notice how they're all wearing red. See, Ricardo, no, not the cool Ricardo, is Lewis's new race engineer, and here's a list of some of his best works. He once told Carlos to box while he was fighting Perez.
Carlos box, speed confirmed.
Not now.
Why were they telling him to pit?
He takes 7 business days to think of a strategy.
What happened?
We're not ready.
Wake up, guys, come on.
Gave Carlos the wrong tires in a heavily wet race.
These are not new Inter. Which Inter is this? Hello?
Gave us an iconic line, which also means we don't know what we're doing.
We are checking. We are checking that. Okay, we are checking. We are just checking. We are checking. We are checking now.
And repeated the same instructions to Lewis over and over again.
K1, we are close. K1, available.
Yes, I know. Leave me to it, please.
Soft 9, suggested. Soft 9.
Stop talking to me while I'm in freaking battle, man. Jeez.
You're repeating yourself, you know that? You're repeating yourself.
You're repeating yourself. You're repeating yourself. Dude. You know, no.
At this point, I'm convinced Ricardo Adami is just so stupid, Ferrari hired him for tax relief. I also had high hopes for Brian Buzzi, who replaced Charles's former disgrace of an assistant, Xavi, only to end up just as bad.
Must be my cum.
Like, this is how I imagine a Ferrari engineer answering an F1 strategy quiz on the internet.
It's not a fucking walrus, right? No, it's clearly fucking not!
And yes, it does get worse than this. In Monaco 2025, Lewis got pissed at Adami for taking ages to decide on strategy.
You're not answering the question. That doesn't really matter, yes.
But when Lewis spoke again, Adami just ignored him.
Are you upset with me or something?
All I have to say is, Ferrari, if y'all need a replacement, I got you. I would be a great engineer. No, you won't. Who said that? But this battle thankfully isn't one-sided. Lewis still fights back with the little soul he has left. He got P4 in Imola and Silverstone, races even Charles struggled in, so he's still able to perform. It's just much more challenging when you have a team that's constantly fucking you in the ass. Ferrari oppresses people of color more than Drive to Survive oppresses accurate storytelling. Ideally, Ferrari should be the least of Lewis and Charles's problems. There's still McLaren, Max Verstappen, V-Kart, Mercedes, Aston Martin, teams all over the place that are hungry for wins, and Ferrari is just busy debating on whether pineapple belongs on pizza. Also, it's clear that Lewis jumped to Ferrari because of Freddy Teddy Vasseur, who is also struggling with rumors of him getting fired whenever the team underperforms.
And doesn't that look absolutely epic, that Ferrari?
It's beyond human comprehension why the Tifosi would always switch their team principles, as if that was gonna work the other 5 fucking times they did it.
What the fuck are you looking for? There's no pot of gold down there. Are you adjusting the seat, really? That's been your fucking problem the whole time, the seat height. So now you have it, right?
And the more you look at it, you'll see that Ferrari is actually quite similar to Red Bull. They replace staff every time, they take decades to get rid of the actual problems, have golden boys they would lose their left nutsacks for, and traumatizes their drivers. Ferrari and Red Bull are 2 dumpsters racing against each other to see who's the smellier one, only to get hit by cars, flattened by a giant, struck with lightning, and crushed by a fucking satellite. But speaking about Ferrari's golden boy, Chuck Leclerc, he's also an obstacle for Lewis, but not in the way you'd think. Charles can be a rival, but at the end of the day, he and Lewis are going through the same trauma together. They are nothing but emotional support buddies.
So we were in bed? Yes. No, not in the same bed.
So there's no rivalry, it's test subject 1 and test subject 2 to see who can survive in a shit team the longest. And you wanna know why Lewis's positivity has been dropping rapidly this season? Well, look at his teammate. In Miami, Charles crashed before the race started, even his mechanics were stunned. Then in Silverstone, he went lawn mowing for 50 laps, crashed into Carlos, and Ferrari pitted him for mediums on a wet track. Typical. And in Hungary, Ferrari was so bad, Charles gave him a whole fucking essay. So how is Lewis supposed to stay positive when Charles looks like this? And you can't even blame him. So you could imagine the look on my face when I see these incredible geniuses from the Team LH fan base claiming that Ferrari is sabotaging Lewis. Like, what are you on about? Ferrari does not have the facilities to sabotage shit. And it's not sabotage, it's incompetence. Also, if Ferrari were to plan a perfect sabotage, they've only ever done that to themselves. And what makes you think Ferrari's gonna go, oh, let's sabotage Lewis, the guy we paid $100 million to sign? Shut your fucking mouth! Plus, as an extra nail in the coffin that's already been filled with 50 other nails, here's a fun stat. From 2008 to 2025, Ferrari had double DNFs in 9 of those years. That brings them to a yearly double DNF chance of 52.97%, just 19% less than the car abusers Williams. And it's thanks to races like Zandvoort 2025, which started with Max Verstappen overtaking Bottolo Norris despite going on the grass. Then Lewis Hamilton crashes the car with only himself to blame. Looks like the Ferrari makeup team is also gonna have to work on his eyes. Then Carlos Sainz gets a death penalty for touching Liam Lawson. Charles overtakes George like how George would overtake George.
He just fully turned into me.
But 20 laps later, Charles was then taken out by Kimi Antonelli, who probably had his Italian citizenship revoked after that, as Ferrari receives yet another double DNF, and Charles sits on the grass for the rest of the race. Even in failure, this team is still aura farming. But then in lap 65, Lando Norris's engine blows up, granting Isaac Hadjar his first podium and a demotion threat to Red Bull. But as hype as this race was for everyone but Ferrari fans, I think what happened here all has to do with Toto Wolff. I wholeheartedly believe this man's been scheming throughout 2025, but I just can't prove it. Here's some examples. Fernando holds up Mercedes in Monaco. His engine blows up. Kimi slams into Charles in Zandvoort to cause an Italian civil war, taking out Ferrari. Lando's engine bottles the one time he doesn't bottle, taking out McLaren. And Kimi Antonelli again, perfectly kissing Max Verstappen while rumors of him going to Mercedes were wild, leading to horny Horners firing, taking out Red Bull. I hate to say this, but everyone's been playing chess while Toto's been playing checkers, and we didn't even notice until now. See, I know a lot about F1 team principles. I've done my research. Toto is a real-life supervillain, Fred Vasseur is a French teddy bear, and my most recent find is Lawrence Stroll and Flavio Briatore being in the Epstein list. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saving this for another video, but also, why am I not surprised? Those are the two names that pop up. I mean, F1 also seems like the perfect place for creepy elites to talk about children. You literally have old men watching young kids drive. Someone investigate that shit immediately. I'm bringing this shit up before it's too late. And Lawrence, stop scratching your balls. It's making me uncomfortable. But back to Ferrari, we all have two questions. First, is Lewis Hamilton washed? Well, no clue just yet. I don't want to be one of those people who call drivers washed until they eventually win and change their minds. But if he is, I'll say this. Put Nico Rosberg in the other Ferrari car for 3 races and bam, you'll get fully bloodlusted Hamilton. So Ferrari, just bring in Rosberg and good luck to everybody else. And of course, the final question, why would anyone bother to stay in Ferrari? And well, the answer is quite simple. Ferrari fans, drivers, and staff all have the same mentality. It's only delusional until it works. And it does work sometimes, but it's a cycle that never ends. Also, I'm sure Charles knows he could have left Ferrari years ago and performed better, but at the same time, what if Ferrari wins the moment he leaves? That is what is making him stay. It's the Ferrari leash. Ferrari drivers are enslaved by possibility. So in conclusion, the 5 stages of Ferrari grief ruins drivers. Ricardo Adami was hired for tax relief. Lewis Hamilton is fighting an uphill battle. Charles's makeup team needs to put more light in his eyes. And F1 is a hub for rich creeps to plan their next hangouts.